So, Tony, so you had a long association with Derbyshire that even continues to this day, but looking back, what are your first memories of Derbyshire County Cricket Club?
My first memories are that I came down here well over 60 years ago with my grandfather, who was passionate about cricket, and I was here watching in the early 50s, throughout the 50s. My father played local cricket and he was passionate, as were my whole family. And so I grew up as a young boy being down here when the ground was wide open without the stands, and you could go and play cricket with your friends if you got bored. So I grew up watching the likes of Donald Carr and Brian Jackson, Harold Rhodes and all these people, and some of the great players that came from the other counties.
And what did it then mean to grow up and become a Derbyshire player?
Well, I think everybody aspires to do that. You never really think it will happen to you. You just want to enjoy the game and you play. And it became apparent to me as I was working my way through the youth system here and playing for Young England at 18 that I would possibly have that opportunity. But when it comes, it's just a really wonderful experience, because I guess so many local players aspire to do that, to get the opportunity to play. So I look back and I regard myself as privileged and proud for the dozen years I had here.
And during that time, what are your favourite memories of playing for the club?
I think all of us, if we're honest, if they're personal memories, you have personal memories. My first class Sunday was against Yorkshire away, and bearing in mind that when we used to play Yorkshire at Chesterfield at home, there always seemed more people supporting Yorkshire than Derbyshire sometimes. It's a massively supported county, so to actually score 100 Yorkshire away in my first, I think that was probably my first 100, or my highest score actually. I think I'd scored 100 against Sussex before that, and also scoring a one-day 100 at Taunton against Somerset. Those are my personal highlights. As part of the group, the most exciting times for me were the 3 years when Eddie Barlow was here, likes of Bob, Jeff Miller, Mike Hendrick are at the peak, and we competed with the very, very best sides in this country against the best players. And we went to a Benson Hedges Cup final in 1978, which was a wonderful experience for both those of us who played and all the spectators that went down there. Unfortunately, we didn't quite give Eddie the tribute he deserved because we did lose it. But of course, years later, the experience benefited quite a few of those lads who've been there, and we won the NatWest in 1981. So as part of the group, those 3 years where the club moved forward so far, those were magical years for me.
And one thing through doing this series that has repeatedly come up is maybe that while Derbyshire haven't always enjoyed the most success, what there's always been is a strong fan base that have stuck with them, and a club that's really been willed on to succeed. I mean, is that something that you experienced? Yes,
definitely. The leagues in Derbyshire have always been strong, whether it used to be the Bassetlaw League up north and the County League down here. It's all one Premier League now, and the clubs are very supportive of Derbyshire and are always hopeful and are very proud if they have one of their own players that actually goes on to get on a first-class staff, as the young lad Nils Priestley has just done from learning all his cricket at local level. That'll make a lot of people that were part of his early cricket education, a lot of people very proud.
Yeah. And do you think as well that something like that, a local player coming through the system, getting into the team, do you think that has a big impact on local cricket in terms of the confidence it gives that more might be able to do so?
Oh, definitely, yes. I mean, I think, local clubs, local cricketers, they do follow Derbyshire, they do come down and watch. I accept in this era now that 2020 is very popular with the young people, but many of them would just love the opportunity, and with the present setup, there's no reason why more and more of them should not be getting that chance to just experience it and just see how far they can go.
And finally, if you can, in a sentence, what do you think this club means to the local community?
To the local community, I would think it's a very, very important part for within the county, a very important part in terms of the heritage the sporting heritage that has been passed on through generations. I think cricket would be right up there. Obviously, it's not going to topple football and Derby County, but I think cricket, certainly in the summer, would be second to that. It's a very, very important part of people's interest and many of them their lives and their desire, as we saw last year with the T20 success, their desire to see Derbyshire do well.